Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who taught us the truth. Honors and salutations to Austin Serakim throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and laboring in sincerity and the truth and charity. All right? I'm a Hebrew Israelite. My name is Micah Allah Bun Gad Bun Yasha Allah. All right, I'm from the Watchman, Philadelphia camp. It's just been on my spirit. I just watched that movie Samson, man. And a couple key things shout out to me. Nothing like major deep, man. I hope this makes sense to the Akim, and I hope it feeds the elect. Lord's will, you know. Let the Lord use me as a vessel, you know. And I'm gonna just hop right into the lesson, man. This is the Book of Judges, chapter 16, and I'm gonna start at verse 1, just to give you an idea. Like Samson, he was a strong man. He was a judge in Yasharala for 20 years, man. You know, so he was ordained from the womb, man, and he had to take that vow as a Nazarite, not to drink strong drink or anything from the vine like the wine. You know, not to touch dead bodies, not to cut his hair, man. But what Samson ultimately ended up doing, giving his strength to a woman, man. And that's what a lot of us do in Yasha Island. You come into that time, man, where it says what was written aforetime is for our learning and for our understanding, man. You know? So you come into a time where the same way they came and grabbed Samson up, they're going to do the same thing nowadays, man. All right? I'm going to hop right into it, man. Read the whole chapter 16. This is the book of Judges, chapter 16, verse 1. It says, Then went Samson to Gaza and saw there a harlot, and went in unto her. And matter of fact, I'm gonna say this, man. It said he saw a harlot, man, right? So he went into her. So he was basically pleased at what he saw. He thought she was fly. Like, damn, this is a nice little John, man. I'm gonna bust up. I'm gonna pop this John real quick. You know, get my rocks off, so to speak. You know, and then fall back or whatever. But all right, it says, verse 1, Judges chapter 16, verse 1, it says, Then went Samson to Gaza and saw there a harlot, and went in unto her. And it was told to the Gazarites, saying, Samson is come hither. And they compassed him and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all the night, saying, In the morning, when it is day, we shall kill him. Yo, and that's the same thing Esau do now, man. You know, they wait for you to get nice and comfy and cozy, you know, and then want to run down on you early in the morning, man. But even the spirit of the Lord was with Samson, man. The spirit of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai was with Samson, you know. And then the reason why them Gazarites was mad at him, because he slaughtered what, 1,000 of their people, man. You know, with the jawbone of an ass, man. If you go back into the 15th chapter, which I'm not going to get into that, you can go to the 15th chapter and all that, and it explains it to you, man. So that's why they was mad at Samson, man. They wanted to kill him. It says that Samson lay till midnight and arose at midnight and took the doors of thy gate of the city and the two posts, and went away with them, bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and carried them up to the top of the hill that is before Hebron. So Samson got word that basically, you know, they was on his ass, man. So what the spirit of the Lord do, hopped on him, he showed him his power, so he knocked the whole gate up. Would have told you, took everything with him, man. You know? It says, and it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines, now she was a heathen woman, man. All right, she was a Philistine. Okay? So that's another way that Samson, you know, he started drawing, man. Basically went off. Because what you do, you had your eyes set on a heathen woman. You fell in love with her, man. You wanted to make her your main squeeze of your woman, like your wife, so to speak. You know, you wanted to wife her. You know, And even nowadays, man, brothers might look and look at other women, be like, damn, man, she nice, man, she fly. But you gotta understand, man. Like matter of fact, I'm gonna get that scripture in a second, but it's Proverbs 6:25, where it says, "Lust not after her beauty, man." You know, and these women that get you caught up in that, man. All right, it says, I'm gonna go to verse 4 again. It says, "And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came unto her and said unto her, Entice him, and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver." So yo, the nigga, well, she not even a nigga woman, but she a woman, man. So women they like money and everything. Plus that was her people. That was her tribe. That's where she came from. That was her folks basically. You know? So guess who she gonna ride with? She gonna ride with them. Plus they paying her. But she ain't expected like really fall for Samson and all that, man. You know? But in the beginning it was all about, yo, you know what? Like, yo, even nowadays, what what a nigga want to do when he try to set another nigga up in the hood? What's the first thing he do? He send a woman, man. Yo, you go set this nigga up. We gonna do this, that. We give you this, that, whatever, in the third, you know. So that's what they do, man. All right, now that's a tactic of Esau, man. Which the Philistines did, and Esau he mastered that shit. So it's nothing new under the sun. All right. It says, and Delilah said to Samson, "Tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee." And Samson said unto her, If they bind me with 7 green whips that were never dried, then shall I wake, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her green withs which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber, and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake the whips as a thread of tow is broken when it toucheth the fire, so his strength was not known. And Delilah said unto Samson, Behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. So yeah, Samson basically was playing with fire, man. You know, he was playing with fire, and he thought it was sweet. All right, and I'm gonna grab this real fast. This is the book of Proverbs, cause this is what that dude was doing at that time. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 27. Here we go. This was Samson was doing about playing with her, like you playing games with this woman. Like, oh well, I'm gonna tell you this is gonna take my strength from me. So you playing with her. So you playing with fire, right? So this is Proverbs 6:27. It says, Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned? Yeah, so if like that's basically you playing with fire, man. So you telling her, you lying to her first, telling her information, thinking, oh, nothing's going to happen. I'm just going to keep getting the yams from her, or the coochie, so to speak. You know, in Philly we say yams, man. All right, so you thinking you going to keep laying with this woman, telling you love her, pillow talking and all that, and nothing's going to come out of that, you know? Because like me and the elder Chaziawan from the DTA camp, the head of the DTA camp, we did a lesson on don't let Eve checkmate you, man. And that's what Eve always trying to do, is checkmate you, you know? And this woman was a Philistine trying to checkmate Samson. Why? Because she wanted to know where his strength came from so she could get that money, you know, and had an upper hand, okay? Going back to the book of Judges, chapter 16, verse 10, it says, And Delilah said unto Samson, Behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, If they bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Delilah therefore took new ropes and bound him wherewith, and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And there were liars and wait abiding in the chamber, and he brake them from off his arms like a thread. And Delilah said unto Samson, Hitherto thou hast mocked me, and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, If thou weavest the 7 locks of my head, where of my head with the web, and she fastened it with the pin, and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And she awaked, Salakia, and he awaked out of his sleep, and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web. And she said unto him, How canst thou say, I love thee, when thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherewith thy great strength lieth. So basically, Samson was trying to show off, man. You know what I'm saying? Show off for his woman, like, yeah, I'm just keep, Jake slick, man. I'm gonna show this woman my strength, this, that, and the third. So it got to the point like she was nagging and nagging and nagging. You know how you get a nagging woman now? She nagging. She like, you know what, man? I just want to get this bitch off my back and just tell her. But then you end up telling her the truth, and it come back to bite you in the ass, man. That was the same situation Samson was going through, and he was a strong dude, man, physically, you know, physically strong and spiritually too, you know. But that's why I told you in the scriptures that a woman to bring a man to a piece of bread, man. You know. Let's keep going, man. It says, and it came to pass when she pressed him daily, like I was saying, she was nagging at him, nagging. All right, and you know, man, you know how women are when they nag. It said, and it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death, man. So like that's like you mad, like man, like you flaming, man. Your soul vexed to death, like you ready to be like, man, fuck it. I don't even care no more, man. Just get this bitch off my back, you know. Salakia. And that's to the point Samson got, man. But you can't let these women get you to that point, man, because you make major mistakes. You know, you gotta always trust in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, man. Because what you think that's good for you it's not gonna be good for you. Because Samson thought that this Philistine woman, which was a heathen woman of another nation, you know, she wasn't an Israelite. Delilah was of a heathen nation. So you know, and it tells you in the book of I want to say First Ezra, we're not supposed to give your sons to them for wives and give your daughters to them for Salakia. Give your sons to them for husbands, and give your daughters to them for wives, man. That's in the book of First Ezra. I can't remember exactly where it's at, but I know it's in First Ezra, man. And Samson, he was going against that, and he took the vow of a Nazarite, of a Nazarene, of a Nazarite. All right. It says, here we go right here. Verse 17 says that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, There have not came a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto the Most High from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will be gone, will go from me, and I will salakin. It says, if I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. Okay. So now we're going to go into Numbers chapter 6 verse 5 and just tell you what that vow was. All right. This is the book of Numbers chapter 6 verse 5. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 1. And this is the vow of a Nazarite. It says, in Yahweh Bashim Shah speaking to Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel and saying to them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to a vow of a Nazarite to separate themselves unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar or wine or vinegar or strong drink, neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dry. All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled in which he separated himself unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair, Salakia, locks of the hair of his head grow, man. So that's how deep of a Salakia. That's how deep of a vow that Samson took, with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. That's nothing lightly to be taken, man. All right, and when they say separated, so you separating yourself. First, you separating yourself from the rest of the Israelites, being as though like you're not drinking the wine and things like that. All right, because it tells you that's not the way it came and all that in the scriptures, man. So we, first of all, as Israelites, we're supposed to be separated from these other heathen nations, man. So when you separate yourself from this earth, from this world, you separate yourself from these heathens, man. All right, and that's a vow that we take to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, what we did on Mount Sinai by following the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, so Samson, he had to take he had to take that ultimate, man. And this is before the Passover and all that. But he took the vow of Nazarite, because you can't do that right now. Why? Because you have to drink wine at the Passover, man. All right, but and also I'm gonna hop to Micah. Salakia. I believe, come. This is the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 5. All right. It says, I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words, man. And what was Delilah doing, man? Flattering Salakia. That wasn't Micah. Salakia, Akia. That was Proverbs chapter 7, verse 4. Let me read that again. It says, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. And what Delilah was doing, she was flattering Samson with her words. Come on, oh, you don't love me. And that's what women do. Probably calling him all kind of strong men, and you're the strongest man, and piping him up in his head, man. And wanting to know where his strength came from and all that. All right. So Samson made that crucial decision. Now this is the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 5, man. Because what he was doing, she was laying down with him, man. That's what the women do. Lay in the bed with you, want to cuddle with you. What they say, speak them sweet nothings in your ear and all that pillow talk, man. But this is what the scriptures say. This is Micah chapter 7, verse 5. It says, trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a God. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom, man. So that's basically telling you, man, you don't supposed to tell your woman everything, man. All right? And Samson fell a victim to that. Why? Because he told her, okay, where his strength came from, man. Okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to hop to Proverbs chapter 6, verse 27. All right? Salakia. Yeah, con. I meant to go to 28 earlier. So I'm going to hop to... No, Salakia. That was it. Proverbs chapter 31. That's it. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. Bear with me, Yakin. I think I wrote my scriptures down a little messed up. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. And this what Samson did. He gave because his hair was his strength, right? His hair was his strength. But ultimately, his strength came from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. But he gave him strict rules and orders to follow so he would be his strength. Okay? But it says Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. So he basically gave up all the tapes on the bed. It says, give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Alright? It is not for kings. Matter of fact, we'll go to this. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, man. And that was the vow of a Nazarite that Samson took. Okay? That was the vow of the Nazarite that Samson took, man. So he gave his strength unto a woman while he taught her where his strength came from. You know? He taught her with the vow he took. That was his strength, man. So he drawed right there. He went off right there, man. So it's consequences for all that, okay? Popping right back in, it says, verse 18, it says, and when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines. So yeah, right then, once she did that, she basically checkmated Samson, man. And that's what Eve always trying to do. The woman want to do that. All right. It says, and when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he hath shewed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hands. And she made him sleep upon her knees. And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. So that 7 just said he had 7 locks on his head. So that 7 was completion. 7 is the number of completion. Okay? So he had them 7 locks, and that was perfect. That was the number of completion. However many he had, it was a number of completion. But he gave that up, man, by telling her his strength. And she afflicted him, trying to make sure that his strength was gone from him, man. All right? And it says in verse 20 says, and she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. Because this time she knew that he ain't lied to her, man. Because he probably really broke down, nah, baby, just I lied the first couple times. You know how Jake get, man. You know, when they dealing with their woman. And this was a heathen woman, man. It says, and she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he woke up. And he woke at Salak, and he awoke out of his sleep, and said, I will go out as at other times before, and shake myself. And he wished not that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua was departed from him, so he ain't know. But the Philistines took him and put out his eyes, and brought him down to Gaza, and bound him with fetters of brass, and he did grind in the prison houses, man. So they basically took him and booked him, man. And they grinded out his eyes. Why? Because they prevailed over him. And why did they grind out his eyes, man? Okay? Because the eyes, like he was doing everything that he saw was fit to be right, man. Okay? So the purpose of Samson's eyes getting taken out because he was looking to do what he thought was right. All right? He wasn't listening to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua completely. The same way that we go off and don't listen to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua completely. All right? So the Lord will take away what you think that you want the most, man. He'll rip it right away from you. Okay? And that's the power that we're dealing with, man. All right? Matter of fact, this is Proverbs chapter 6 and 25. All right? Because what you do with your eyes, man. You lust after women's beauty, and that's what Samson was doing. So this is the book of Proverbs chapter 6, verse 25. It says, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids, man. So you know how the women be batting their eyes and all, you all caught up in the eyes, like, dang, girl, you got some beautiful eyes, man. Like, yo, your eyes the shit. And this, that, and the third, man. You know? The Lord took Samson's eyes, man, so he couldn't see or be sidetracked from any of these other women, because Samson like women, man. What man don't? You know? And he like they say he was dealing with the harlot. Then he fell in love with Delilah. He fell in love with the other chick, man. It was a Philistine. You know, so Samson was after them women, man. He was after them yams, man. You know, even though he was a man of the Lord, but the Lord had to check him, man. The same way the Lord going to check us, man, for following after your own heart, all right? You can't follow after your own heart, man, okay? And that's one of the major reasons why Samson's eyes was taken from him, man, all right? Matter of fact, I'm going to grab Proverbs chapter 20. I hope this is making sense to the Akin, man. Lord's willing is edifying, man. All right. This is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. It says, man's goings are of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. How can a man then understand his own way, man? All right. So the Lord put Samson in all these predicaments, man. Okay. To let it happen. He knew his decision he was going to make and all that. Not saying he made Samson sin. No, he didn't. He put him where he had to be at. All right, to prove to him that he couldn't do nothing without him. All right, his Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's will was going to be done, man. At the end of the day, man. All right, continuing on. Back to 21, it says, but the Philistines took him and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza and brought him with feathers of brass, and he did grind in the prison house. So, yo, what happened to us when we went off, man? We turned our back on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, aren't we right here in America? Then we get brought in, under oppression and all that with feathers of iron, man. They brought him with feathers of brass. What's the difference, man? They both metals, man. All right? So he was taken into slavery, man. All right? He was taken into slavery. The same way we was taken into slavery, man. So it says what was written aforetime as for our learning, our understanding, man. All right? All right, it says, all right, verse 22 says, howbeit the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven. All right, so his hair started to grow. He started to learn that he went off and you know, be back on point. It says, then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon, their God, and to rejoice, for they said, O our God have delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hands. So, yo, first of all, these heathens, they don't believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. You know? So the Lord, he gave all these other heathen nations their gods, man. All right, he gave all these other heathen nations their gods, and that they won't worship a wood and stone and all that. But we weren't supposed to do that. When you even had some Israelites, they was worshiping Dagon back then, man. Why? Because they feared their oppressor. The same way you got our Israelites believing in Jesus Christ and all that, man. Which is a bunch of garbage, man. You know. Only the men that the Lord set up is going to believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua wholeheartedly and perfectly. Yeah, perfectly, man. Completely, because the word perfect just means complete. All right? And we're going to complete our path in this lifetime, man. Whether the end be death or whatever the case may be, man. Okay? And what happened to Samson? As strong as a man he was, what happened? Yo, he took out a lot of enemies. Right? But guess what? At the end, he suffered death, man. You know? He was a martyr, so to speak, man. Because these people actually thought that their God was more powerful than Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and they was taunting this man. So let's get right into it again, man. It says, then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon, their God, and to rejoice, for they said, our God hath delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hand. And when the people saw him, they praised their God, for they said, our God hath delivered into our hands our enemy, and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. So they said, so they knew Samson, they called Samson the destroyer of their country, man, because Samson was set up to deliver his people, man. You know? Like you had a lot of deliverers in Yasharallah, man, and Samson was one of them, because he delivered his people. All right? Because he took them damn Philistines out, man. All right? It says, And it came to pass when their hearts were merry, they said, call for Samson that he may make us sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house. And he made them sport, and they set him between the pillars, man. You know, so like when I was watching the movie, the pillars that they were showing was actually Dagon's legs. I'm not gonna say this was the script, but it said the pillars were Dagon's legs, and he was in between the pillars. So they tried to make him a sport, tried to make a mockery of him, basically making a mockery of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, because that was his power, that was his strength. You know, that's basically his power, his God, the Holy One of Israel, of Yasharallah, man. You know, so these heathens were making fun of our power, man. After they got all nice drunk, when you have a party and everything, you chilling all, and they probably talking shit. Oh yeah, and man, you can just imagine the things that they were saying about our power, about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, man. You know, but guess what, man? He gave them what they was asking for, man. It says, verse 26. It says, and Samson said unto the lad that held him, because his eyes were gone, that held him by the hand, suffer me that I may fill the pillars whereupon the house standeth, that I may lean upon them. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Philistines were there, and there were upon the roof about 3,000 men and women that beheld while Samson was made sport, man. So they was on the roof, they was all throughout the house and all that, man, talking shit about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, man. Okay? They was talking straight up shit, man. All drunk, ain't think nothing was gonna happen to him, praising Dagon, man, which was a heathen god, man. Alright? It says, and Samson called unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah and said, O Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, power, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me, I pray thee, only this once, O power, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistine for my 2 eyes, man. All right, so he knew he went off, man. That's why he prayed for his 2 eyes, for his sight, man. You know, Samson knew he messed up, man. So what he do? He turned back to his power, man. You know, because what it tells you, Salaki, it tells you that a woman to bring a man to a piece of bread, man. All right. Yeah, it tells you that a woman to bring a man to a piece of bread. And what did Delilah do to Samson, man? She brought him to a piece of bread where he was that strong dude, and she broke him down. By what she do? Found out his secret, man. You know, which of course Yasharallah knew, because he had to take that vow, man. And they knew with that vow came certain things, man. And for Samson, it was his strength, man. Who's his strength? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, man. All right. It says, verse 29 says, and Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars upon which the house stood, and on which it was borne up, of the one with his right hand, and the other with his left hand. And Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. So, he was like, man, Lord, I know I messed up, man, but let me take out as many of these bastards as I can, and I'll go with him, man. You know? And listen, that's righteous to me, man. You know? You'll go out with your enemy, man. Take him out, man. For Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah's sake. You know? And that's what's written aforetime for I learn to understand. And look how many times that our ancestors, chose death, man. You know? For Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. And at the end of the day, it's up to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah to deliver you from death at that time, or to let it happen. You know? For a story, man. All right, it says, and Samson said, let me die with the Philistines, and he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life, man. So that's heavy right there, man. You know, he lost his eyes and all that, man. You know, So what the Lord do, man? So what Samson prayed to the Lord, he had to be praying. I can't think of the word, but he had to be praying fervently, man. To his stomach was hurting and all that, because he knew he jacked up, man, messed up by trusting in the Lord and messing up his vows, man. And if you could go back yourself and read the story of Samson, man. I'm just giving you a little brief run through, man. And there's certain points that was sticking out to me, man, with the eyes and things like that, man. And giving your strength to women, man. You know? And giving your ways to that which destroyeth kings, man. You know? Because we in those times right now, man, where they about to start coming for us and all that. And you're going to have women around you and things like that that's going to try to get you to take the chip, you know, try to throw you off, you know. And try to get you to do all types of bullshit to turn your back on your Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. But you got to be strong, man. All right? And pray that the Lord gives you that strength. The same way at the end, what Samson do, he had all that strength. He prayed that the Lord gave him that strength again, man. Just that one more time, man. All right? Just that one more time, man. So you pray that Yahweh Ba'Shem gives you that strength that one more time, or however many times he have to give it to you, to sustain in the up and coming times, man. All right? Verse 31 says, Then his brethren and all the house of his father came down and took him and brought him up and buried him with Zerah and Eshtaol and the burying place of Manoah his father, and he judged Israel 20 years. So Samson was a judge for Israel for 20 years, and they buried him next to his father, whose father's name was Manoah, which the word Manoah means rest, man. All right, so they buried him next to his father where he was resting. But I just want to bring out one more precept, which I think I should have brought out earlier. But this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, starting at verse 23. Okay? It says, O Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, I know that the way of my Salakia. It says, O Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. All right, so it's not in the man that walketh to direct his own steps. Why? Because Samson thought he was doing what he thought was right in his own mind and his own steps, right? So it wasn't in him to direct his own steps. It was up to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. It says, O Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, correct me with judgment, not in thine anger, lest thou bring me to nothing, man. Okay? And what happened to Samson, man? He was brought to nothing, man. All right? Out of all that strength he had, man, the Lord brought him to nothing, but he built him right back up, man, to take out his more Philistines than he killed in his whole life, man. All right? It says, so the Lord, basically, he still had mercy on him, man. All right? It says, pour out, verse 25 says, pour out thy fury upon the heathen. Now, this is what happened in the end with Samson, man, when he killed all them Philistines, man. It says, pour out thy fury upon the heathen that know thee not. Which them heathens didn't know. They didn't know Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So what he did, he made them know him, man. Why? By using Samson to kill all they ass, man. And they saw the matter of fact, they knew the strength and power of Samson, man. They knew it came from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, but they chose not to believe that, man. You know? So what they had to do, they all had to more of them than he destroyed his whole life had to be put to death at the end, man. All right. It says, pour out thy fury upon the heathen that know thee not, and upon the families that called not on thy name. So they was calling on Dagon. The families they wasn't calling on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. The heathen families. They wasn't calling on our name. He says, pour out thy fury that wasn't calling on his name, man. All right. It says, for they have eaten up Jacob and devoured him and consumed him and have made his habitation desolate, man. And that's what them goddamn Philistines was doing back then, man. All right? Running attacks on our people, threatening the burning land, tear it up and all that, man. You know? And I ain't even wanted to be that long, man, but I just wanted to go and I pray that this lesson was edifying, man. I don't even got a title for it, man. But through the Spirit, I'm praying I'm going to get it and upload the video. And Lord's will that this was edifying to the Akim and Akwafim that watch me, and the children that believe on the name of Yahweh by Shik Shah, man. We almost out of here, man. All right, this thing is like right here. All right. And with that, I'm gonna say, call Allah, Yahweh by Shik Shah, the violence to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to the Akim on the four corners of the earth and the 144,000, the hopeful elect that's laboring on here, out here in honesty and sincerity and in charity and in truth, man. And the women, the Akwafim, and the children that believe on the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. With that, Shalom.